Got another planting job, which is pruning some roses, some icebergs. That's how they look. Little tall, fall pruning. Cutting about 25% back. These are pretty small. What you want to do is you want to trim to the outside bud. See how that's facing on the outside. Or let's see here. So this is a new bud, but that's growing on the inside. What you want to do is trim. Find a good example here. Oh, here we go. Trim to where that shoots off outside, not inside. That goes that way, so it grows out and not. So as I've been trying to explain and try to do it a couple of times, you want to prune to the outside bud. So I cut right there, and just below is the bud. You want to cut just above the bud, and you want to cut at an angle like that. That's not the best cut, but I'm doing it with one hand. You want it a little bit more cleaner than that, so I'm gonna cut to this next one. I would rather keep the top one, but just to show you how clean and at an angle you should have it, I'm gonna cut it again. Yeah, these new pruners, but you see that, and then the new bud's gonna come out right here. Oh, that sucks. Okay, I'm gonna show you another cut. Okay, and I just did another cut. So as you could see, I cut right there, and then just below is the outside facing bud. Can I get a focus on that? Right there, pointing to the right. There you go. And then get zoomed out. I'm gonna cut this one out to open up the rows. Get up in there. Sorry guys, let me put this down real quick. Alright, took that out. I don't know if you can tell, but opened it up a bit. Had that in there, took that out. Here's another shot. Here's another shot of me trimming into the outside facing bud at an angle. Bada bing. Outside facing bud right there. Here's just another quick example, guys, trimming it to the outside bud. I know I'm being repetitious, but sometimes it's good to get other examples. So I'm trimming it down about 25%, and I'm trimming it down, and this is on the outside, so the new bud is going to come out from right here in the middle and grow on the outside. Hey, what's up, garden folks? So I finally got home and I'm gonna just go ahead and do some light pruning on my own roses. I guess this is what you would call the fall soft pruning, where instead of pruning back 30-40%, you just prune about 15 to 20-25%, and you might even get a few more blooms out of them. And then come the end of December, beginning of January, you go ahead and start hacking back the majority of the branches, start thinning them out, and even maybe taking off some leaves to get ready for them to go fully dormant. Go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and feed them right now, just like me and Cooper did on the plant job after I prune them. And then when I give them the hard prune, I'm going to go ahead and feed them half dosage, then maybe even quarter dosage then, and I wouldn't expect them to leaf out until maybe mid-February, end of February. I remember working at all the nurseries. There's always a race to see which one leafed out first. But right now I'm going to go ahead and do that soft prune, and Let's see if, go ahead and give you guys a good example. So this is New Dawn, a climbing rose. As you can see, it has a whole bunch of branches. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of trim to the new growth. I know I did a lot of hooting and hollering about trimming to the outside bud, so I'm gonna go ahead and like cut right there. I gotta order some better pruners. I lost my Coronas. Coronas are really good if you're just starting off. So here is a bud. I probably should prune to here. Well, not should. I actually want to prune to here, but it's better to prune right here so it can grow out. Eventually, I'll cut that one off. But you always want them everything facing out so it can grow out and open up. So just for that statement, I'm gonna just at least start cleaning it up because that whole bud thing is kind of complicated to me. Start making stuff easy right now. Kind of just open it up, clean it up. And usually climbers, actually you want to have them growing flat like a fan, so it would kind of grow up a wall. So actually everything I just said is actually better for pruning hybrid teas. Climbing roses, you can actually want them flat like a fan so they can grow up a wall, a fence, whatnot. But at least right now I'm just cutting off all the dead. And then I'll get to the other roses, which are a Floribunda and a hybrid tea. So, like I said, I want it flat, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one that's protruding forward. And I'm gonna cut this one. This is not the bestest, flattest climbing rose. It's kind of old, kind of been growing for a while, so I'm kind of just trying it to be a good rose. One of those that should have been in the garbage and I didn't throw it in the garbage. I tried to save it and I saved it. So, and then kind of as flat as it can be, Let's see, like that. Out, so it'll grow like that up against the wall. Maybe even in the middle of a little pathway. Let's go to the hybrid tea. So like I said, you want to clean out the middle, which I kind of already did without telling you guys. So when you guys do the hard prunes, you kind of want to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6, but you might want to leave 4 to 5 canes. So if this was a hard prune, I would cut this out, which I kind of want to do already. I'm gonna save that for actually, I'll just cut this one short. There we go. Cut that one short. And let's see what we got here. I'm gonna cut this one. This is a soft prune, guys, so you don't want to just cut everything off. And if it's flowering, I'd say leave on the buds, get your little flowering show on. But go ahead and thin it out a little bit. Get some energy going to the roots before it goes to sleep. So I was about to cut here, but got to go up and cut to the outside bud. Outside bud, see? Boom, 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 boom. Because what's going to happen is it's actually going to... The new growth is going to come out from between the leaf and the stem and go that way. If I trimmed over here, it's going to come in. It's going to grow into each other. It's not really going to look so cool. And it's actually not going to feel so cool because it's going to get all tangled. Lack of airflow. Yada, yada, yada. And this is me trimming on camera. Usually off camera, it's a little easier to myself. Maybe listening to some music. You know, the beauties of gardening. I'm going to just cut that all the way back. So that was a hybrid tea. That was my Veteran's Honor. This was a New Dawn, a climber. This is a Floribunda, looking pretty scraggly, right? But if you feed it, trim it back, you can get it back going. It already budded a few times, got some shows going on. Let it dry. I wonder if it still smells. But what would I do with this guy? I would just go ahead and cut. I know I said don't cut it bare, but I mean, it doesn't really have much super strength to go vigorous, so the best thing I can do is kind of keep it alive. Boom, boom, boom. Kind of just thin it out, get some energy going to some main branches. And just a fun fact, you can actually Google it, and I'd actually rather you guys look it up. Don't want to just trust me, but so B1 is a chemical that you use for plants that are in shock. I'm going to leave some leaves on the plant because I forgot what college, but they discovered that as long as the plant has leaves and is producing leaves, it is also producing its own B1. So technically, from what I hear, you don't really need B1 unless the tree or plant has either no leaves from extreme shock, like say you left it outside and all the leaves just dried up and died, which I've done, had to use Super Thrive, or say your plant or tree has went dormant and you're trying to juice it back up or replant it, then I would use B1 because they do not have leaves, so they are not producing their own B1. And mind you, B1 is not harmful, so you can use B1 at any time, but just a fun fact, plants with leaves are producing their own B1, so that's why I left a little bit of leaves, and I don't want to go all the way bare, which it still probably lived, but just while these guys are not totally asleep, I'm going to leave some leaves to help them bounce back. I kind of am harsh on my plants, but that's because when I finally put them in the ground, I want them to be able to handle the harshness of life. Ha ha ha. So here's a really good example. You see that trim? Here's the outside facing bud going out. Main branch, outside facing bud. Boom, boom, boom. And sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. But some people come in and say, hey man, it doesn't really matter, yada, yada, yada. It does matter if you're trying to get really, really good roses. If you don't care, then it doesn't matter. So I guess that's the story with that. See, okay, see that little outside facing bud right there? Not that one, but this one. And another thing I'm not really making a big deal of, but you do want to do at an angle with the higher part of the angle closer to the bud. What do I mean about that? Let me see. It'd be easier if I had my Coronas because they're thicker, but I don't. So we're gonna do a trimming, which is lower than I want, but we're gonna do a trimming down here. So you see the outside facing bud right here. So I'm gonna make a cut right here, but I'm gonna do at an angle that goes down. You want the highest point of the angle closer to the bud. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing that. Dang it. It's not the best cut using one hand. Hold on one second, guys. Alright. Higher cameraman. So, as you can see, it goes up. Highest point of the cut is closer to the bud at an angle, so the water runs down, doesn't gather, collect mildew, the wood dries off at an appropriate rate. You want, ideally, if I had some good Coronas, ideally you want this part of the cut, the bottom of the cut, slightly above the bud. You want to imagine that this is all going to dry out, and you don't want the bud to dry out. This is potentially could dry out this new bud growing. Potentially I would want not such of an exaggerated angle and slightly higher, but I'd say this is okay. Alright, so this is this is a hybrid tea also. This is my Firefighter hybrid tea. That was the Twilight Zone. Weeks Roses is super, super good. They say it doesn't take years to grow a rose, it only takes weeks. So just like you see here, go ahead and just take out that middle branch just to open it up. That would be what I probably would want to leave that branch during a soft prune, but if I don't show that video, I would have cut that off as via hard prune. So I got one, I would kind of count this as one branch. It's two, but it's coming off one branch. So I got one good branch, two good branch, three good branch, because ideally I would probably want to cut this one off. Cut this one off. This is dead back here, so it's going to be a slingshot. Not the best. I kind of was rough on these guys. Last but not least, I have a miniature rose, which has a lot of branches. It's getting kind of late. There's a lot of black widows out here, so I'm going to finish this off in the daytime. Over and out for right now.